Hello, wonderful listeners. Welcome back to another inspiring and soul-lifting episode. I'm so glad to have you here because today we're diving into a topic that can truly change the trajectory of your life, a topic that separates dreamers from doers and wishers from achievers. Today we're talking about taking risks for personal growth. Now, before you flinch at the word risk, I want you to pause for a moment and think about this. Every great thing that has ever happened in your life began with a risk. The risk to try, the risk to believe, the risk to step out of your comfort zone. Because the truth is, without risk, there is no growth. Thought balloon, what is a risk, really? When people hear the word risk, they often think of danger, failure, or uncertainty. But risk is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Taking a risk doesn't mean being reckless or foolish. It means having the courage to move forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Risk is that invisible bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's uncomfortable, unpredictable, and sometimes scary. But it's also the path that leads to transformation. Think about it. A seed has to break open to grow. A bird has to jump out of the nest to learn to fly. And you, yes, you, have to step into the unknown if you truly want to grow. Why taking risks is essential for growth. You can't grow by standing still. You can't change by staying comfortable. You can't evolve by repeating the same safe routines every single day. Growth happens in discomfort. Growth happens when you say, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to take a step anyway. When you take risks, you expand your potential. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. Build resilience. You learn how to bounce back when things don't go as planned. Develop confidence. Every small risk you take builds your courage for bigger ones. Experience new opportunities. The best doors in life rarely open in comfort zones. Every time you take a risk, you give yourself permission to grow into someone stronger, wiser, and braver than you were yesterday. The fear of failure. Let's be honest. The biggest reason most people don't take risks is fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of what people will say. Fear of the unknown. But let me remind you, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed. And not just once. They've stumbled, fallen, and doubted themselves, but they got back up. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players ever, once said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. See? Failure didn't stop him. It shaped him. The truth is, taking risks doesn't always mean you'll win. But even when you fail, you learn. And that learning is priceless. So instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what if I never try? Growth lies beyond fear. You can't grow if you're ruled by fear. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, looking at a breathtaking view, but you're afraid to step closer. That fear robs you of the beauty right in front of you. In life, fear often does the same thing. It robs you of opportunities, experiences, and breakthroughs that could change your life. But here's the truth. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite the fear. When you take that leap, when you push past your fear, you realize something powerful. It's not as scary as you imagined. And even if you fall, you rise stronger than before. That's growth. That's progress. That's becoming unstoppable. Real growth happens outside the comfort zone. The comfort zone is cozy, safe, and familiar. But nothing new ever grows there. Think about the butterfly. It can't fly unless it struggles out of its cocoon. That struggle, that risk of transformation, is what gives it wings. It's the same for you. You can't become who you're meant to be unless you take the risk of becoming uncomfortable. You can't discover your potential by playing it safe. You can't build confidence if you never face uncertainty. You can't find success without walking through some level of risk. Every time you take a bold step, your comfort zone expands. You begin to see life differently, not as something to fear, but as something to explore. How to take smart risks. Now, let's be real. Not every risk is worth taking. There's a difference between blind risk and bold, thoughtful risk. Smart risks come with intention, preparation, and faith. Here's how you can take them wisely. Know your why. Don't take risks just for thrill. Take them because they align with your goals and values. A strong why gives you the courage to act. Do your homework. Gather information. Prepare yourself. Understand what you're stepping into. Then take the leap with faith, not ignorance. Start small. You don't have to jump off a mountain on day one. Begin with smaller risks. Speaking up in meetings, starting a side project, reaching out to someone new. Each step builds momentum. Trust yourself. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Believe that you have what it takes. You may not have all the answers, but you'll learn as you go. Accept the outcome. Whether it works out or not, every risk teaches you something valuable. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Either way, you grow. The rewards of taking risks. So, what happens when you dare to take risks? You begin to live fully. You start to see possibilities where others see limitations. You experience freedom, the kind that only comes from knowing you took control of your own life. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the smartest. They're the boldest. They're the ones who dare to take chances, to fall, and to rise again. Remember, playing it safe might keep you from failure, but it will also keep you from success. Life rewards the brave. And the moment you choose courage over comfort, your world begins to change. A challenge for you. Today, I want to challenge you to take one bold step. Just one. Maybe it's applying for that job you've been doubting yourself for. Maybe it's launching that business idea. Maybe it's telling someone how you truly feel. Maybe it's just believing in yourself again. Whatever it is, take the risk, because you'll never know how high you can fly until you spread your wings. The greatest risk in life is not taking any risk at all. Final words. My friend, every great story begins with a moment of courage. So, take that step. Make that move. Trust the process. Even if you fall forward, because every fall moves you closer to your destiny. Remember, growth doesn't come from safety. It comes from bravery. And your bravery will lead you to the life you've been dreaming of. Closing message. Thank you so much for joining me today. Folded hands if this message on taking risks for personal growth has inspired you, encouraged you, or sparked something inside your heart. Then don't keep it to yourself. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs a push to step out of their comfort zone. Remember, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So take that leap of faith and watch yourself grow into everything you were meant to be. Until next time, keep believing, keep growing, and keep taking bold steps toward your destiny. Thank you for listening, and may your courage lead you to greatness.